to Frankie's Forest. Now on the channel, these past few videos have kind of been on the theme of houseplant or just plant tours. So we've done my new full houseplant tour. We've done the tour of my succulents and the tour of all my orchids. Now I think it would just make sense to do a tour of all of my vegetables in my vegetable garden. Now this year, I might say that this year we actually decided to do our garden on our back deck with pots and grow bags. So let's start over here with our 2 herb gardens. Now first we have this one to the right, which has rosemary and oregano, as well as some parsley that bolted. So when it bolts, it basically means that it sends out flowers to try to get some of its pollen out there. This way it can create seeds, and as you can see, it's done that. And after it bolts, it pretty much dies off, but that is totally normal. And here we just have a whole patch of celery. It's grown really, really well so far. It will need some more time, but as you can see, it's starting to form into that celery cane stalk thing. Moving to the other one, this one is a little more interesting. We have some nice cascading thyme off of the whiskey barrel, as well as a really nice full garden sage. And then over here we have some Italian basil. And then we also have some Thai basil right here, as well as this is all cilantro. In the back here we have some spring onion. Now you might see like a lot of the videos that are like life hacks for plants, or garden life hacks, how to reuse what you buy at the store. You might see that they cut down chives and they put them in water, or they put them in soil and they grow back. So that's what I did, and they did produce really well for a couple of months. However, after the 4th time of cutting them all, they kind of just don't really grow back, so they stop producing. So I'm kind of gonna, once we finish harvesting all of these canes, we're gonna actually uproot them and put something else in here, because since they're not producing, we're not gonna like try hard to get them back, because So then moving on to our vegetables and our greens. And I also forgot, we also have some orange mint here, which is really, really nice. It's not exactly orange because we haven't had a lot of sun, but if we had sun, this would turn somewhat orange, which is really nice. And it also has a lot of babies on the bottom. Now you might see we have it in a pot, and that's because mint spreads really quickly. So if we didn't have it in a pot and just planted it right in the whiskey barrel, it would spread and kind of like get in the way of all of these plants. So we have it in a pot, this way we can contain it. Next, let's move on to this. This is our Juliet tomato plant. Now we have 3 hybrid tomatoes. We don't have any heirloom tomatoes, which are pure. They grow off of how you treat them. So this is actually just a hybrid, so it's not going to really be as nice, but it is a Juliet Roma grape hybrid tomato. It is an indeterminate variety of tomato, and it does have quite a few flowers on it that will turn into tomatoes. Actually, there was a way of pruning it that I watched, and so it said to keep it in like 2 stalks, and prune off all the other leaves and the suckers and all that stuff. So that's what I tried to do. However, some of these suckers actually grew and produced some tomatoes, so I'm totally fine with that. Moving up here, I have my yellow pear tomato that a friend gave me. And it got a late start, but it is producing quite a few tomatoes, actually. I believe it might be a determinate variety, I'm not really sure. Over here we have a sweet banana pepper plant that hasn't really produced at all yet. However, it does have some flowers starting up, as well as some nice, a nice split right here. This way these two will grow out more. Moving over, these two are both white eggplants. Here's the tag, if you're interested. That's what they look like. They're supposed to be less bitter, so we're trying these out this year. Last year we tried out the regular purple eggplants. Their flowers look really pretty, actually. As you can see, this one did get pollinated because now it is kind of falling. It is kind of like drooping down, and it's going to start turning into an eggplant, which is awesome. So we have two of those. They're growing really well. And as you can tell, we tried for the first time grow bags this year. So we're working with grow bags. Moving to the side, we have 2 bags of Swiss chard. We haven't actually ever done Swiss chard before in our garden. We haven't grown it. But so far it's looking super awesome. Very healthy leaves. We're going to start harvesting some of it soon. Moving over, we just have some mixed greens, some lettuce, some Asian mustard greens, and yeah, so actually something I wanted to bring up in this video just so I could maybe have some help, because I know at least one of you guys out there have experience with growing lettuce. So I was wondering, what are these black and brown spots on these leaves? I looked it up. It said it was like a bacterial infection, and I don't really know how to actually remove them. It just gave some like little suggestions that didn't really work, but if any of you guys know how to fix it, please let me know. Moving down here, we have some pink and white mini potatoes planted in these grow bags. These ones are actually different than these. These ones are a bit wider, and they're actually taller than these. And we figured that we would need that for the potatoes because we want them to grow a lot. So we put about 5 pink mini potatoes and 5 white mini tomatoes. And then in here we have a whole bunch of purple mini tomatoes. As you can see, the eyes are kind of starting to grow, which is exciting. Moving over, we have a pot of lettuce because we didn't have another grow bag. So we just put the rest in a pot with a little chive that we don't know what to do with, as well as another pot of lettuce. And then we have another tomato here. This is a big beef hybrid tomato. It is also indeterminate. And this one, as you can see, we kind of did a little better with the branching. So 2 branches. This branch actually here, I could just pluck off. This way it doesn't drain energy. That could be put into tomatoes, and exciting, we already have some tomatoes forming, which is awesome. Moving over here, this is a Citronella plant. That's not a vegetable, but it's just there. And over here we have a zucchini plant. So there's also a little chive in here just to keep any pests away. And as you can see, if we come around the back here, there's actually a zucchini forming right there. Now, it's kind of strange. I've done some research, but we have a lot of male flowers being produced by the zucchini and not a lot of female flowers, which is kind of disappointing. As you can see, this zucchini here had insufficient pollination, so it started to turn into a zucchini. However, it didn't get enough pollinated, so it kind of just withered. So I'll have to take that off. But the difference about zucchini male and female flowers is that female zucchini flowers will have the fruit, and then there would be like a flower on the bottom, so it would be like, oh, perfect. So it would be a thick stem here, and then a flower on top. The flower just fell off. But it would be a flower like that on top. However, males would have no zucchini attached to the stem. It would be a thin stem in a male. And the male flowers need to pollinate the female flowers to be able to produce a zucchini. And that's why it's good to have like bees and stuff in the garden to help out with that. So there are a lot of male flowers, not a lot of female flowers, which I'm kind of concerned about. But after doing some research, it's just a bit early in the season, and the zucchini plant isn't going to waste all its energy with the female flowers. It kind of called the male flowers test flowers, just so the zucchini can see how the flowers are coming out. Now, further along the branch, we thankfully do have some more female zucchini flowers. This is what it looks like at a young stage. There's one there. There's also one right there. pretty exciting to have some more female zucchini flowers around here. But other than that, I also have over here a rosemary plant that's put in a pot because it did have a little bit of a disease, so we wanted to keep it isolated from being in the soil. We also planted these fig trees, which is really sad. They're not really perking up. I don't know why. We've been watering them. They've been in, you know, not too much sun because we don't want to burn them because they're not looking that great. If any of you guys know what to do with these guys, please let me know so I can try to help them out. And then the other part of our garden is actually on the side of the house, and it's our raised bed right here. We actually had to put a wire around it because we have a lot of animals like deer and rabbits that would easily just munch away at all of our plants. So in here we have a whole bunch of arugula that's growing right there. It's a wild type of arugula. And then we have all of these are Cubanelle peppers. All of these, so we're gonna have a lot of peppers there. This is actually not a pepper or a vegetable. That is actually called a Shasta daisy, and so we're just keeping it in here because the rabbits love to eat the Shasta daisies. So we're keeping it in there until it matures enough to be able to put outside. We also have some more celery plants that we couldn't fit in, and also a couple more peppers that are Cubanelle peppers. So guys, other than that, that is pretty much my vegetable garden that we've got going on here. The only other thing I could think of showing you guys is this little fig that's rooting in water, so at least we have a little bit of a chance with that one. But other than that, that is our entire garden. Now, I don't know if entire is really the word because it's not really that much, but it's enough to feel like we're able to be a little self-sufficient at least. We haven't actually harvested much off of these plants yet. Tomatoes, we haven't gotten any tomatoes. However, with the herb gardens, we've been taking a lot of basil. No sage yet, but thyme and basil, and the green onions are really good. And we also have some compost that is cow manure that we actually bought, and we put it on the plants. We put about an inch of the compost on the zucchini because we were recommended from a friend to do that, who has a lot of experience growing zucchini. So we did that, and we also put some on top of the other plants, which help them grow and will hopefully help the fruit that they produce taste a lot better and help the plants grow healthier and stronger. So other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on, this way you don't miss any of my new and upcoming videos. Other than that, I hope you guys have an excellent day. Bye.